Welcome back to CarWow 787 that fuels your diesel knowledge and keeps your gears turning with all things engine tech, torque specs, real-world reviews, and powertrain comparisons. If you're a diesel head, a fleet owner, a mechanic, or just someone who appreciates finely tuned heavy-duty engineering, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into a true legend of the road, the Caterpillar C12 Twin Turbo engine. Known for its raw pulling power, reliability, and rugged build, the C12 Twin Turbo is more than just an engine. It's a chapter in the legacy of American diesel power. When people talk about Cat engines, they usually think about torque, longevity, and the kind of grunt that makes a heavy load feel light. The C12, in particular, has earned a reputation for being a balance between powerful performance and manageable weight. It was designed to meet the demands of Class 8 truck applications while still being nimble enough for various vocational tasks. But what really sets the twin-turbo version apart is the way Caterpillar engineered it to deliver faster spool-up, smoother torque delivery, and better throttle response compared to its single-turbo counterpart. At its core, the Cat C12 is a 12-liter inline six-cylinder engine, electronically controlled and capable of delivering between 355 to 505 horsepower, depending on the variant. Torque peaks out at around 1,650 pound-feet. But what makes the twin-turbo configuration so significant is that it utilizes a compound turbocharging system. This means a smaller high-pressure turbo is paired with a larger low-pressure one. The smaller turbo spools up quickly at low RPM, minimizing lag and providing early boost. Once RPM increases, the larger turbo kicks in, providing the volume of airflow needed for top-end performance. This setup gives drivers the best of both worlds, low-end torque and high-end pulling power. It makes climbing steep grades feel smoother, gives quicker throttle response off the line, and maintains that Cat reputation for grunt under heavy load. Drivers who've experienced both setups usually report the twin-turbo C12 feeling more alive, especially when it comes to acceleration and grade pulling without downshifting aggressively. Another reason the C12 twin-turbo gained popularity is its design simplicity compared to newer engines. While emission systems today are far more complex, the C12 was from a time when engines were more straightforward. Fewer sensors, fewer electronics to fail, and an easier time troubleshooting in the field made the C12 a favorite among old-school mechanics. That doesn't mean it lacks tech. It was one of Cat's first engines to incorporate advanced electronic fuel control through the Atom system, which helped balance power and fuel efficiency while managing emissions to early EPA standards. One thing that often gets talked about is the engine's durability. The C12 is built with a robust iron block and a forged steel crankshaft. The components inside were designed for millions of miles with the right care. While the twin-turbo setup does mean more heat and pressure, Caterpillar engineered the internal components to handle that stress. The pistons, liners, and bearings were upgraded from earlier models to support the boost levels and temperature cycling that twin turbocharging introduced. Let's talk about service and maintenance for a minute. The C12 Twin Turbo does require more attention than its single-turbo sibling, especially when it comes to oil quality, turbo health, and intercooler performance. The compound turbo system relies on precision balance and clean airflow. Any buildup, leaks, or oil starvation can quickly turn into expensive repairs. That said, a well-maintained C12 Twin Turbo can go 800,000 to over 1,000,000 miles without a major rebuild. Oil changes, clean air filters, and monitoring boost levels are critical to engine life. One of the key factors in its long-term success has been rebuildability. Caterpillar made the C12 easy to overhaul. You can do in-frame rebuilds, replace turbos individually, and access key components without pulling the engine entirely. That's a big reason these engines still see life in owner-operator trucks, vocational rigs, and even repowered equipment today. For someone who wants to keep a rig going strong without constantly buying new, the C12 Twin Turbo is a viable and economical choice. On the road, the C12 Twin Turbo behaves like a workhorse that doesn't give up. Drivers often report steady pulling without the engine screaming at high RPMs. You get a lot of usable torque in the 1,200 to 1,600 RPM range, which means less shifting, more comfort, and better fuel economy over long hauls. And while fuel efficiency wasn't the C12's headline feature back when it launched, with the twin-turbo system and proper driving habits, you could squeeze out 5.5 to 6.5 mpg under normal loads. Not bad for a pre-emissions engine pushing big numbers. The sound is another standout feature. There's something undeniably satisfying about the growl of a Cat engine under boost. The twin-turbo setup adds a unique whine to the traditional Cat rumble, especially when the boost kicks in and the exhaust system is tuned just right. It's a sound that tells you you're driving a real machine, not just a computer on wheels. For many drivers, that mechanical feedback, that raw feel of connection between throttle and torque, is part of what makes the C12 Twin Turbo so enjoyable to drive.